I don't wanna be like Cinderella, sitting in a dark, cold, dusty cellar, waiting for somebody to come and set me free. I don't wanna be like someone waiting for the surface to come. God, that was my favorite song growing up. Who else loved the Cheetah Girls growing up? Hello, guys. Welcome back to my channel, Wisdom and Light here, and I am back with another celebrity psychic reading. We are going to be reading on the Cheetah Girls. Now, the drama. We're gonna talk about it. I'm so excited. Thank you guys so much for having me. If you're new here, welcome. We do celebrity psychic readings, monthly horoscope, and whatever that's in the cosmos. Happy new moon in Taurus. Happy Taurus season. And let's just jump in. What happened between the four of them? What happened? What happened between the four of them? Okay, so we have authority reverse. We have obstacles and challenges reverse. Movement, choices, and decisions. Okay. Pull that card later. We're going to pull from this deck as well, from the Wisdom Oracle. We have love. We have love. Show me the energy surrounding the Cheetah Girls. Show me the energy surrounding the Cheetah Girls. Deceit. Okay, so I have an idea of the discord that's happening, or that happened already in the past. And I guess that everything got dug up again because I believe Raven and somebody else went on live, and then Keeley and Raven hashed things out, and Raven said, hey, you need to talk to Adrian. And that is unfortunate because Adrian and Keeley did technically grow up together. So they did technically grow up together. So it's unfortunate that they fell out. But let's just see the energy surrounding why the group fell out as a whole. So we have the authority card reverse. We have obstacles and challenges reverse. Choices and decisions. So I will say that being in this girl group was very exhausting for each one of these ladies, even though they enjoyed it and it was amazing for them to do during their youth. Because this happened around their 20s, right? This was a good opportunity for them. This was everything that they needed it to be. However, it took up a lot of their time. And it's talking about all of the girls outgrew the group in a way. They kept it going for as long as it could, from what I'm sensing, from what I'm seeing. That's why the energy is just more so like, oh, okay, we have another tour. Oh, okay, we have another dress up rehearsal. Whatever that they had to do to keep everything flowing and going. So being a Cheetah Girl during the time that they were the Cheetah Girls, it was very exhausting for them. Also, it wasn't really necessarily a sisterhood right away. It didn't have a Destiny's Child energy where it's Kelly, Beyonce, and Michelle, and they all love each other. This feels more so like we all got slammed into a group and we don't really know each other like that. So another thing that I'm picking up on is because Keeley and Adrian knew each other, they were off in their corner just, you know, knowing each other and vibing with each other because they were in a group prior to the Cheetah Girls. But what I keep seeing is that alliances changed. So we're not supposed to say that there were sides here, but I am seeing sides. It is talking about Raven and Adrian growing more closer, which brought an obstacle to Keeley's position in Adrian's life. So this is one of the reasons why Keeley, based on my cards, based on what I'm seeing, this is another reason why she was a little bit triggered by that. Because Keeley considered Adrian a very, very close friend. Like best friends, okay? And when Raven came into the picture, Adrian and Raven bonded a lot. And that did make Keeley feel some type of way. Because like we all know, Keeley and Raven didn't really get along like that. They're two different people with their own views and their own way of doing things. So when Raven and Adrian started bonding, it made Keeley feel some type of way. Now, in the group 3LW, Keeley had that it girl vibe about her. Okay, so I just keep feeling that she tried to bring that energy into the Cheetah Girls a little bit, but that's not what happened. That's not what happened. I'm neutral. I'm just reading the cards based on what I'm seeing, but it's also talking about Adrian didn't take up for Keeley. Like, Keeley felt that Adrian could have said something or done more. And Adrian's just more so like, no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. So the vibes is very much so, we're the Cheetah Girls. We're here to perform. We're here to do our thing. And then we're back to how life used to be. Okay. Now, out of everyone in the group, it's Keeley that took this hard. It's Keeley that went through a lot of changes because she wasn't expecting for Adrian and Raven to get close or to be very, very like buddy with each other. And it did infuriate Keeley in that way. So I'm definitely seeing that. But aside from Keeley just feeling a little bit jealous that she might be losing a friend to somebody who's very, very popular. Like, at the time, Raven Simoon was doing the damn thing. So a little bit of intimidation and jealousy there. But then you mix that with all of them wanting their own thing. Around that time, Keeley was also growing a deeper relationship with whoever that she's with, whoever that she had children with. So it's almost... it just feels like they were outgrowing the group and they tried to keep it together for as long as they could. Spirit is also saying that they should have stopped it at the second movie, but they kept it going, which is why everything just started twisting and turning. Because the second movie is talking about there was a little bit of tension between Raven, but they were still able to be cordial. It was when they got to the third movie that everything went left, and then Raven didn't want to do the fourth movie. So what I will say is Disney should have only did 2 movies with the Cheetah Girls. And had they only did 2 movies, it would have never escalated the way that it did. So that's coming through. Another thing that I'm also seeing in the reading is that Keeley, when she got in her... so that's what I'm seeing. Like, guys, it just feels that they all grew apart and they didn't really know how to keep everything together and keep the unity. Okay, things were changing around Keeley, around Adrian, and they weren't seeing eye to eye. Keeley wanted things to be what they used to be in 3LW, and Adrian just wanted to keep the peace. You could tell that Adrian was just in the middle. Another thing that I'm picking up on, this was probably around the time that Adrian was dating one of the Kardashians. I keep picking up that Keeley felt some type of way about her relationship with the Kardashians. Like, Keeley felt like she was being replaced. She felt like she was being replaced. She felt like she was being replaced. Rigid. Yeah. Rigid. When we think of rigid energy, it's like entrapment. It's like trapped in... just trapped. And that's how Keeley felt. And Spirit is also coming through saying that Keeley had to learn that she needed to allow people to change and grow into who they needed to be. Just because we have history in the past, that doesn't mean that I can't, you know, be friends with this person because you said so. Like, it can't. We're going to grow up. We're going to grow into who we want to be around. But to be fair to Keeley, she just felt like she was being left behind and her feelings weren't being valid. So because of that, she started just becoming very cold. And that's what caused the tension, because no, you shouldn't have to pick a side on friendships. But I can understand how Keeley felt, because Keeley is... or she was no longer the it girl, or she was experiencing her friend like not being as present in her life because she's with the Kardashians. She's here, she's there. Personally, based on these cards, it's just talking about Keeley just should have expressed herself. It's coming from a place of hurt. She feels like she's losing her friend. And rather than having the maturity to express that and be vulnerable, she didn't want to give that to Raven, and she didn't want to give that to the people that were stepping in between them. So that's what caused the friction, which is why Raven wants them to fix it, because the fight, from what I'm seeing, is not even that deep, but it didn't look good. And it's just talking about an argument that they couldn't come back from at the time. So that's what I'm seeing. That is what I'm seeing. I will say that Keeley Williams have more confidence than she used to. And I keep bringing her up because she is, in a way, the root of the drama that did circulate within the group. She is like the root. And she's being brought up a little bit more than the other girls because she's the one that kind of created the domino effect of drama. The one who had the blonde hair, she feels like she was just there and just chilling. She was very unproblematic and very quiet. So it's not like Keeley could speak to her and say, hey, what do you think about this? Because she kept the peace and she was just more so like, hey, just figure it out. I don't want to get involved. This is my job. Like, that's how the one with the blonde hair felt about it. She has a very sweet energy, very sweet spirit, and she has a very sweet energy, very sweet spirit, and she keeps to herself. So Keeley couldn't even confide in her because it's like, you're not even going to talk about what you know. Like, you're not going to side with me. And it's like, I'm not trying to side with anyone. I just feel like it's silly and we should just focus on the group. So blonde hair, so the one with the blonde hair, I keep forgetting her name, but she was very, very business minded when it came to all of this. She dealt with a lot of changes with family and growing up, but she was the least of everyone's problems. She did what needed to be done, and she didn't give Disney a headache. It was really Keeley and Raven that were going back and forth, and unfortunately Adrian ended up being in the middle, and Keeley started being mean to Adrian because she felt that Adrian could have done more to defend her, when Keeley just wanted to keep the peace, and she was really growing a bond with Raven. So it just feels like immaturity. Like, I'm losing my best friend, so I'm going to do all of this because I'm losing my best friend. It wasn't enough maturity to just talk about it. Now, the good news is all of these women are in their 30s, and all of these women have a level of maturity that they didn't have before. So all of them are able to have this conversation. Now, a lot of people are talking about, oh, I want a reunion. I don't feel like a reunion is going to happen, but I do feel like a conversation is going to be had eventually between Adrian and Keeley, because Keeley does love Adrian. Keeley does miss Adrian. And Adrian has love for her too, but there's just a lot of pain here. It's a lot of resentment. It's a lot of pain. A lot of words were said. Keeley she has a mouth on her. So it's a lot of apologizing that she has to do. And with Adrian, I would say, if I were Adrian's reader, I would tell her, even if you feel like you were in the right, still listen to what she has to say, because all that she did came from a place of hurt. And it came from a place of her being scared that she was losing her friend. I'm not making it right. I'm not justifying it. But everyone was able to speak their truth about the situation. And I feel that it's time for Keeley to speak her truth, whether she's right about it or wrong. And that in itself will release any grudge that you may have. You don't have to be best friends with this person, but it's just to release it and to let it go and to not let it carry on and fester. Because that's not what we want, you know? Especially as the older you get, you just don't want any enemies out there, you know? You just don't want any bad blood. Or at least you want to be the one to be like, hey, I really have no bad blood. We don't have to be friends, but you stay over here, I stay over there. But Spirit is saying that they need to have that because they do genuinely still love each other. And they do care about one another to make things right. But Spirit is also saying that Keeley needs to be the one to make the first move. The energy that I'm feeling is that Keeley was the one that closed the door first. And that really hurt Adrian. So if you're going to close the door, Adrian's going to lock it. So Keeley closed the door hoping that Adrian would come after her. But no, Adrian locked the door, and that's what hurt Keeley. Because Keeley's like, wow, you really just did all of that? So moving forward, these women are in a better headspace to make better decisions by one another. That's what I'm seeing. Also, this was when Adrian was really, really getting close to Rob Kardashian, and there was just some jealousy there. And I don't want to say it's jealousy because why her and not me, but it was more so like, I can't even explain it from Keeley's point of view, but she felt like she was losing all of her friends and her career wasn't going where it needed to go. But Spirit was giving her a life that she actually needed, and that it was being a mother and being low-key. And there's nothing wrong with the life that she has. She gets her royalty. She don't bother nobody unless you bother her. So it's okay that that was your path and that's what needed to happen. It's okay that this is the reality, and her reality is beautiful. She has a family. She has beautiful children. So she didn't lose in the end. She ended up gaining so much. It's just everybody's path is different. And at the time, Keeley didn't understand that. But being a mother now, she understands it now. So it's really above her. She doesn't care about the whole Hollywood shit. But in her youth, she did care. And she didn't like that everyone was like moving forward. Like, let's be fair. let's be real. At the time when the Cheetah Girls were slowing down, the woman with the blonde hair who was in the Cheetah Girls, she was on Dancing with the Stars. Raven Simone went off to do more things, and Adrienne Bailon was amongst the Kardashians at the time. So she was a part of that show, and she was also getting opportunities here and there. Okay. And Keeley was trying to find her path. So she felt that she was being left behind. What will happen when Adrienne and Keeley Williams speak? What will happen? Sacred Heart. It's really going to be emotional for the both of them. I do feel that they will come together. I don't feel that they will be best friends like they used to be, but they will honor the connection that they did have, because they were really close, guys. This was really close. Really close. And Keeley needs to put her pride to the side and reach out to Adrienne. Adrienne will actually respond because Adrienne is in a better space. She's in a better environment. She's in a better spiritual place with herself. She's in a better headspace. So Adrienne would actually receive her if, of course, Keeley comes correct. If Keeley comes correct and she's open and honest and she's not getting defensive or trying to go back and say you were wrong, I was right, and just apologizing and just saying that I miss you as a friend and I hate that everything happened the way that it did, Adrienne will forgive her. She won't forget, but she will forgive her. And another thing, Adrienne already forgave her. It's just she's waiting. Not that Adrienne is waiting, but she already forgave her for her own self-love, for her own well-being. She had to forgive her and a lot of other people in her life so she can be where she's at right now mentally. So Adrienne is not the one holding anything. However, it will be a relief and it will be very sweet for Keeley to reach out. It's really Keeley that needs to do this because it's going to set Keeley free. And it's going to release her of this cycle of feeling that she's hated and feeling that she's not loved. I just feel that everything was blown out of proportion. It was a huge misunderstanding. And everybody wanted different things within their life. People have the right to change. Okay. Wisdom, knowledge, spiritual understanding. So they are going to speak again. They will speak again. We will hear about it. We will hear about it. So that's really what it is. Keeley felt that she was losing a friend. Adrienne didn't want to pick sides. Keeley felt some type of way because they had longer history. And it was a domino effect of Keeley feeling lost and all of the girls finding their path. So it just caused all this tension. That's really what I'm sensing. That's really what I'm seeing. There's really nothing bigger than that. Keeley, she feels like she could be a Pisces or a Cancer. Keeley, she has a big bark. And she has a slick mouth, but when she loves you, she loves you. I'll give her that. When she loves you, she loves you. And also, Keeley was meant to be famous in her youth. She wasn't meant to be famous like in her late 20s to 30s. She was meant to be where she's at in her life. And I'm also hearing her angels say that she's grateful that she has the life that she has now because she couldn't imagine being in the spotlight in this day and age. Even though people know who she is, she couldn't imagine being in the type of limelight that she's in. Now, I'm not saying that she's innocent, but I'm just reading from her perspective and what her angels and what her team is saying. Because everybody can have their opinion on how they feel about her, but that's what I'm seeing. What else? How did Raven feel when she was live with Keeley? Because I don't know, guys. Even though they were live and they were speaking, I felt Raven's vibes. I did feel her vibes. I'm like, you're cool, Raven. You're letting bygones be bygones. But I can feel that I'm cool with you. I have no problem with you, but don't fuck with me. Like, that's the vibe that I felt from Raven. Raven was like, oh, it's cool, but just don't fuck with me. Like, it's all good. I felt it. I felt the vibe. Fertility, love begins, moving on, reverse. So she felt that she felt that Keeley was the one that was holding on to things. And Raven wanted to just be like, I'm not holding on to anything. I want to move past it. I want to move on. I want to move forward. So Raven just felt like, I want to just move over. So Raven basically felt that she wanted to move on. She wanted to move forward. She wanted to move forward. The moving on card reverse showed up in her reading because people kept asking her about it. So it wasn't allowing her. So that alone wasn't allowing her to move forward. So Raven, I mean, she's happy that the conversation happened because people kept asking her about it. So Raven is happy that it's done. And Keeley, yeah, see, Keeley was a little jealous. She had her little jealous vibes, okay? Heartache and loss. She did feel like she lost friends because, you know, Raven's the it girl and she's not receiving this, she's not receiving that. So, you know, that's what I'm seeing. But overall, show me the energy of Keeley. But she did feel like they were able to move on and make amends. Foundation and achievements. So that's what I get from the live. But I did pick up on the vibe of Raven being like, I'm cool with you, but I don't fuck with you. Like, that's the vibe that I felt from Raven. And that's a true Sagittarius at its finest. Like, I know she's a Sagittarius. That's a true Sag. Like, I don't got no beef with you, but I don't fuck with you. And she would say with a smile, I don't fuck with you. I'm cool with you, but I don't fuck with you. And I keep seeing her energy will say that to you with a smile on her face. And she really means that shit. She's like, I'm with you, okay? I don't want you around me, but I forgive you and I'm cool with you and I don't mind sitting across the table from you. So that's Raven's energy. Show me Adrian's vibes. How does Adrian feel about her name being brought up? I just heard Adrian say, leave me alone. And her energy is saying, leave me alone. So it's more so like when the conversation was had, she did see it. And she didn't like that Keeley wasn't willing to apologize. So she feels that Keeley hasn't learned her lesson all of these years. After all of these years. And she feels like it's the same thing that keeps happening over and over. The cycles card is showing up. So it's like the cycle that never seems to stop. So she feels like, how can I even forgive her and have a conversation with her when she doesn't feel like she needs to apologize or just own up to her part in all of this? I'm willing to say what I could have done, but what she did or how she came at me, it's like, I can't help that this was happening and I didn't want to give something up. And I just keep feeling Adrian just like, I'm going to be cool if she can just own up to her part. If she can own up to her part, I have no problem. So Adrian felt some type of way about how Keeley wasn't trying to own up to her part. Yeah. The High Priestess of Water. So this is just, so this is Adrian's emotion. She really felt some type of way. It's just like, how are you not going to own up to your part? But people want a reunion. Okay. Chaos. So I will say that Adrian didn't receive, she didn't receive that live very well. So this is why, remember in the beginning of the reading, I kept saying that they will make amends, but Keeley has to come correct. This is why. This is exactly why. If she doesn't come correct, Adrian is not going to accept the apology. And that will be the last time that she'll give her the opening to accept the apology. So, and knowing Keeley, based on her vibes, she doesn't want to give somebody that type of like power, like, oh, don't make me apologize. Don't tell me what to do. But it's not about that. It's not about that. It's not about that. It is about just letting it go. Y'all loved each other at one point. There's really no point in all of this. Okay. So when it comes to Keeley, she's thinking about it. But Keeley will have to come with a white flag and not on 10. And because Adrian is very intuitive, she'll know if the apology is genuine or not. So I feel that what needs to happen is Adrian should not apologize to her because everyone is forcing this fucking reunion. Adrian should apologize when she's in the right spirit and right frame of mind to do it. Because right now, Hollywood is hyping this up, and I don't feel that Adrian is ready. And I don't feel that Keeley is ready to give her that apology. So I actually feel that making amends will happen when the hype calms down around them. They will actually speak, but it's not going to happen right now. The tensions are still up. Feelings are still swirling. I'm not feeling that Adrian is mad, but it's like, I don't want that energy around me. I'm happy where I'm at. Unless she's trying to come on some peaceful vibes, I don't want it. That's her vibes. So I do feel like they will make amends. It's not a reunion where they will go on tour, but it's definitely a reunion where all of them might be on The View talking about it, and or doing interviews, what I'm seeing with all 4 of them there. That's what I'm seeing. It will happen, just not now. All right, guys, thank you guys so much for supporting me and showing me so much love. Thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you do for this video, I deeply appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for sending me sweet DMs. I read all of the sweet DMs, and I am trying my best to reply to them. And I also read all of the nasty, evil DMs that people send me, and I don't even know what I did to them. But for the most part, I appreciate all of it. Thank you guys so much, and talk to you guys later. Bye.